Panthers in 6. All right, moving on.
Okay, cool.
That really is like the only story about the game. Like there's
Dude.
there's not much to say. It was all said last year. There's not that many changes to the big names, to the big
Yeah.
guns. Lots of depth players. Few guys who made it, making a difference. But I don't know.
It feels pretty much just the same as last year. Just maybe the Panthers won't forget how to play
Won't shit
mid.
the bed and just.
Yeah.
Which I mean, to be fair, like what
It made a
Game
fun
7
series.
would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it made a fun series, but like yeah, it just feels like the same thing as last season. And like I know like right now the big like one of the big stories is Corey Perry in his fifth final in 6 years. And I'm like, but has he won a cup?
Nope. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's impressive. He
Yeah,
keeps picking the right teams to go to, but it's just wait, it was 6 finals, right?
it's 5 and 6 years.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, this is 6. So he did
I'm
Montreal, Dallas,
Nope, that's not what I wanted to click.
Tampa, Florida.
Let me scroll up.
Oh wait, did he not? Did he only do one game
5,
with Tampa?
Dallas, Montreal,
Or sorry,
Tampa,
not Florida, Edmonton.
Edmonton. It's only 5.
Was he only with? Oh, Tampa didn't make it to the final the second year with him. That's okay. Giving them
He's
an
missing
extra.
2023. He's got
Sort of, yeah,
2020,
okay.
2021, 2022, 2024, and 2025.
It's insane.
You know,
Absolutely insane.
what's crazy is that in 2024 he could have been playing with the Chicago Blackhawks still.
Instead, he does something that we
So,
still don't know what.
yeah, just he went to rehab for or something. Who knows? But yeah,
And rehab
and
could be anything. Like it
it could,
doesn't
yeah, it really could. It doesn't.
behavioral rehab.
Gambling rehab.
Yeah.
Who freaking knows?
And it's just like hey, now we're gonna release you to the Oilers.
Yeah.
Keep wanting to say Panthers. I don't know why. Feels like he should be a Panther at this point.
I mean, both teams are dirty enough.
Yeah. You know what? That is the story
Yeah.
of the series is who's gonna be dirtier. It's like you've got Kane and Perry,
Mhm.
and you've got Marchand and Bennett,
Mm.
but then you also have Kachuk.
Mm. Yeah, and Kachuk is
Like
a shit.
it's like he's injured, sure, but
Doesn't stop him from being a little shit.
no, and it could just be like, I fucked up my ankle. Like the docs are probably not going to let me play the next game. Let me just go out, and just wreak havoc
Yeah.
or whatever it is he hurts. I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, that's really the big story is who's going to be the dirtier team because they really are both very dirty teams.
Yeah, it's two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
One team is dirty in the snow, the other team is dirty on the beach.
But other than that, it's the same thing. It's the same game as last season. Like I don't think there's really. I think it's Panthers. I think Panthers are going to take it. They're going to do a back to back, and cool, have their fun, and then hopefully next season we get a better match.
So it would be Florida versus someone else or Tampa.
Mm.
It's the way they're going. It just stays in Florida because this is the 5th straight year of that,
Which is
right?
why which is I think it's 6 actually for them. Um, I don't know.
Or they've won. Yeah, they've won a bunch of them.
Yeah. I I think yeah. I think that's why I went with Tampa though for my bracket because I was like, okay, if it's gonna stay in Florida, then maybe Tampa will move on instead of Florida. But nope, I was
Got to get
wrong.
yeah. Got to go back to back though, because then you can get
Mm-mm.
the cool golf cart like Pat Maroon.
Yeah.
Except this is back to back to back. So
Yeah. Um, I think we have other exciting stuff to talk about though with the NHL since like really we are just waiting for the series to begin to actually get a feel for what this matchup is going to be, which I think we already know what the matchup is going to be, but
yeah, and there's other people much smarter than us talking about it and analyzing it.
yeah. But last year there was all those people doing the same thing and being like it's going to be the Oilers, it's going to be the Oilers, and it was not the Oilers. So
It's might be the scary thing because like
yeah,
it feels to me like no one's picking Edmonton.
maybe. Um I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who are split right now. I think there are a good amount of Oilers people who are picking Oilers, but I feel like it's a little bit more split of like I don't know who to pick for this because they
Yeah,
both are yeah.
you're just flipping the coin.
Yeah. Um Well, then, do we wanna stay in the NHL next, or do we wanna talk about the PWHL?
Let's stay with the NHL too. We can even stay with Florida, and we can talk about
Okay.
um Alexander Barkov winning the Selke Trophy.
Oh, yeah, he won Selke, which I have feelings that are just my own personal feelings, but
The first one is I'm pretty certain I'm happy that the NHL awards don't really exist anymore.
yeah,
Like they kind of do, but no one cares.
yeah, and I know Kopitar likes to joke about it, and we all make the joke once he gets his first penalty of the season, which is not until, like, the end of the season. We're like, "Well, there it goes,"
But
or
it's
his Lady Bang, but that's
that
the
was
one
his
we
Lady
joke
Bang,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, that but still.
But yeah, so yeah, Barkov won. Sam Reinhart, his line mate, came in second, and then Anthony Cirelli from just across the state in Tampa came in third. Um, which is great.
Yeah,
All good choices. Nico Hischier was fourth. Eichel was fifth. I've never really thought about Eichel as a defensive player, and to
not
be fair,
really.
I don't watch a whole lot of Vegas games.
I don't think of Eichel that way either, but okay.
Let's just round out the top 10. Draisaitl came in sixth. Again, I don't really think of him as defensive, but
And we
you
see
know,
a lot more of him than we do.
yeah, and it might just be bias.
Yeah,
The he hasn't been that defensive in the playoffs.
yeah,
Um, Marner in seventh, Kopitar in eighth, Brendan Hagel from Tampa Bay ninth, and Adam Lowry from Winnipeg in 10th. All good.
yeah.
Obviously, we're biased, and Kopitar should win every year.
Because he's a really fucking good player. But okay,
One, two, surprisingly, four players from the Western Conference in the top 10.
maybe. Well, I will say I feel like that the media has been staying up a little bit later to watch some, not all, of the West Coast games.
Well, I feel like the media in this case, a fair amount of them are just they remember who's who.
Hmm.
Like, all right, we need to put Kopitar, we need to put Deneau, we need to put this person to that person,
Yeah,
and then they really think about the others. The other, my issue with this award is, and with a lot of these awards, with the ones that the media votes on, is
yeah,
the bias
yeah.
that the voters use towards their guys or put
Hmm.
on their guys. Um, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when Connor McDavid won the Hart Trophy? It was unanimous. Everyone gave him the first place vote except for one guy who put him second, and he was a writer in Pittsburgh, and it's basically just to be an ass.
Yeah.
But as I go through the list of the best defensive players, there's some that make absolute sense, some that are a little confusing. Lots of ties, lots of Sidney Crosby's 31. Like he should be a little bit higher than that.
That one I was a little shocked about because, yeah, Crosby being that low.
Where did he go? I have to find him on here. Ilya Mikheyev shouldn't be on there, I don't think. But Warren Fogle, yeah, case could be made for him. He's very good at what he does. Number 23, though, on from everyone who got votes, 23 with one fifth place vote and one second place vote. That means there's a media member out there who thinks this player is the second best defensive forward in the league, and that is Washington's Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he got a second place vote. Someone thinks yeah, has he turned his game around? Sure. Is he doing very well in Washington? Yeah. Is he the second best defensive forward in the league? Absolutely not.
No. Okay, yeah, okay, Barkov is amazing, and he's everybody calls him, like, the young Kopitar, like, I will give him that, but, like, second then should have been Kopitar, like, what?
Or Reinhardt or
Pierre-Luc Dubois being
yeah,
second.
PLD. Not good. Better than he
What?
used to be. Not that good.
Yeah, no, he's not that good, I'm sorry, whoever who voted for him to be second, that is ridiculous.
23. He was not tied with anyone. None of the ties start until 26.
I don't get it. I don't get it. That makes no sense to me. Like,
So yeah,
oh,
it's ridiculous.
here we go. I have the list in front of me now. Byfield is 37th. Like, and Byfield,
He's tied for 37th
yeah, tied for 37th and is better than PLD.
out of I think 43 is what I counted. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 50. Yeah, 43 players.
Like, he had the best percentage for penalty kill. Like, one of the best percentages. Like, what? Like, Byfield is better than PLD.
Yeah.
Okay. It has to be Washington media, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's whatever their local guy is. He probably still writes for the newspaper.
Probably. because there's just no
which
way.
could be horrible slander, and I would love to, for newspaper to be relevant again. But still, no one thinks PLD is the second best defenseman or defensive forward in the league.
Yeah, that is definitely not the case here. Oh goodness, but good for Barkov. Like I said, a lot of the people like to call him the younger Kopitar. Like I watched one of his last goal plays, and it looked like watching Kopitar with that goal. Like it really did. So I get it.
Oh, kids came in to present it to him, the sick kids from the hospital.
Oh,
Well, that's adorable.
that is cute.
Yeah,
But
that's fun. Okay, that's cool. I didn't realize that, but I like Barkov, so he's very deserving, very well
yeah,
deserving.
no, I have nothing against Barkov. He's actually one of the few Florida players that I'm like, okay, like
Yeah, for me, it's kind of like when Bergeron kept winning, like even though Kopitar would be nominated, you're like, yeah, Bergeron's going to win. Like I can't get mad because Bergeron, like he's really good.
but like, mm, yeah, okay. I can sit and rant and be upset all I want. I'm sorry. I only got one more year left of him. Okay, it makes me sad.
Save it all for next year. Yeah,
I know.
next
Uh,
year you can just go all out.
yeah. But like another kind of like sweet Florida thing is that they ran the 5K for Goudreau on the whole
Yes,
team. Yeah, which
that
was really, really sweet. Yeah, that was a really nice move, and it was obviously Katuk's idea to do it, which because he was a teammate with him for
so is Bennett.
so yeah. So Bennett, I don't think he's as
We
I
don't
don't
know.
think he is.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, I'm just Bennett's one of the dirty players, so I don't think he has as much of a heart as Kachuk can at times. um, but yeah, it was a sweet thing for them to do, and also like good for them to decide to do that like after practice. Like, damn, again, I wish I had that kind of energy.
I mean, there's no stories with this anyway. They're doing so many great things. Like that's so you've got the sick kids presenting Barkov with the trophy. They're running the 5K in memory of Johnny. They're getting the ice cream on off days. Like it's the Panthers, despite what they are on the ice, they're just like they're winning the hearts of everybody.
And that's something that
Everyone's
the Oilers don't do,
no, the Oilers don't do that at all. It's McDavid.
except for
Oh, fucking
Wallman.
get your shit together.
Did you see the story though with Wallman, which was
I,
really kind of funny,
I did
honestly?
not.
So Wallman went into Walmart, which is really funny because I started to call him Walmart. So the fact that he went into
Pretty
Walmart,
good. Yeah.
yeah, he saw some kids looking at trading card, like to buy trading cards, and bought them packs of trading
Well, that's
cards.
cute.
Yeah, so that like and like took pictures with them afterwards and stuff. Like that's like so I'm like there's at least one good story on the Oilers side, but it's just the one player. Like it's just well
They start opening up all the packs. He's like, please, please, please. No, it's not one of me. No, next one. No. Buys them all hoping.
yeah. He was only gonna
Just ends up signing a McDavid card for him. He's like, here you go.
yeah.
It even makes it even more special.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But yeah, the Florida Panthers are doing more of the community outreach type things and being like the wholesome team, going and doing things together and stuff. Like, whereas Oilers don't really have that kind of story for them. Like, they're not doing those kinds of things. Or, like, I bet you McDavid is eating boiled chicken and rice right now. Um, like, he's not going and spending time with his
Maybe
teammates.
the rice might have too much flavor for him.
It
So
might. Because and make sure there's no ketchup, it will be okay. But yeah, that's the one thing that Florida has on them is that they are doing the more wholesome moves and trying to be part of the community.
it makes you root for them. Like
It does.
you have no skin in the game
Yeah.
other than we don't like the Oilers.
Yeah.
But even then, it's the Panthers give you a reason to root for them. Like I want them to win.
It does. Um
And then for the chaos factor, Brad Marchand, Conn Smythe winner.
okay.
Yeah. Or if Edmonton wins, Stuart Skinner. Because again, chaos.
God, Skinner doesn't deserve it, but okay.
But he
Um,
might shut out the Panthers 4 times and still allow like 24 goals in the other 3 games.
yeah.
So again, chaos. Oh, you know what? Never mind Stuart Skinner. The other Skinner, Jeff Skinner.
Get him into Jeff
Second.
Skinner.
Oh my God, that'd be so awesome. Oh, that won't happen because he's only played 2 games, but he got a goal in his last game, and considering he's been in the league for 15 years and this is his first playoff experience, he's only had 2 games because they keep scratching him, but the fact he got a goal, like, that made me very happy. There's your feel-good story for Edmonton.
Mm,
Wallman buying trading cards and Jeff Skinner finally getting a playoff goal.
that's it. That's all they got.
That's it. But, oh, man, if Jeff Skinner gets like, just goes off, if it's a 6-game series and he gets a hat trick in each game, like, yeah.
Connor McDavid,
Yeah,
give it to Jeff Skinner.
Connor McSkinner over here.
Connor McDavid, who?
I mean, you know what? That it's I guess he kinda has to play with, look, if you said Connor Brown's coming back,
Yeah.
but, Hyman going out, Corey Perry, who's already been playing on the top line, gets moved to the top line,
Mhm.
and so Jeff Skinner can come in and fill Corey Perry's place. So it's I don't know, it could happen. It
He
won't,
could.
but it could.
Yeah. That's why I play him, when they just have McDavid and Draisaitl, like, what's the point? You play shorthanded.
I can't wait for them to be like, the Oilers are gonna start the series with McDavid and Draisaitl on a different line. Yeah, like, for the face-off, and then that'll
Mhm.
be it.
Mhm. Yep, and we know, we know. Silly.
I'm so over that. Just
Yeah. Um, okay. I'm, like, trying to remember everything else that we listed off of, like, "Oh, yeah, this happened."
So before we get to PWHL,
Yeah.
do you wanna talk about the Paul Maurice thing?
Oh, the Paul Maurice thing with leaving the players to handshake thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm really torn on this. Yeah.
that one's so weird because it's not like he hasn't skipped a line for a handshake before. Like there's photographs of him doing it for
He's done
previous.
it this year. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So I
why?
don't the one thing that no one's reported on is, did he ask the other coaches and they all
Mm,
turned him down? I haven't heard that.
okay.
I keep listening to podcasts and they just keep playing his quotes. And
Mhm.
like you see the clips and you're like, well, he and Brenda Moore it kind of looks like they're arguing, but like Brenda Moore just lost. So like he's definitely
Mhm.
upset. It's like I don't know that I can't gauge everything off of that, but it's like he shook John Cooper's hand in the line. Did John Cooper just say no
Yeah, I don't.
and be like and that's it and walk away? Or did he stand and they have the conversation? But the worst part is he's like, no, no, we don't want to do it. We want the cameras to be on those guys and never to be on them because they're arguing on the bench. The cameras are on them and no one's watching the handshake line.
Yeah.
Oh, like in principle, I get it and
Mhm.
I agree with it, but I think he kind of missed the mark there.
Yeah. It just seemed a little weird. Like, I understand if it was just, like, a normal thing that, like, it's just the players, but, like, also at the same time, it's just, like, the coaching staff is part of the team as the players, and
Oh,
I think the coaches should, whether win or lose, should also appreciate the other players and the other coaching staff, too.
I mean, I agree with them in as much as yeah, the coaching staff does their job
Mhm.
and the equipment staff does their job, and they are equally important members
Yeah.
of the team. But like he said, like they're not on the ice playing the game. So, leave it to those guys who are taking the hits and getting hurt and dealing with the injuries. It's okay, cool, that's fine. And then you'll have a separate handshake line for the other guys.
Yeah.
Or, it's figure something else out. I get that. But, have that conversation before the game. Like, don't do it after the game's over,
Yeah.
drawing all the attention to you.
No.
And then a few people have said this, but having Paul Maurice be like, no, all the attention should be on the players is really ironic because Paul Maurice is just like, how many quotes can I get out? Like, can I
Yeah.
make all the reporters laugh during the press conference? Like me, me, me.
Mhm.
And so it's maybe not ironic, maybe more hypocritical.
Yeah.
But I do get a miracle vibe from the whole situation. If you remember from the movie, once they get to the Olympic Village, it's just Kurt Russell just doing the press conferences, no players. They won't give it to him
Yeah.
because he wants he wants them to focus on the game. The media can
Mhm.
focus on him. And when the media accuses him of just trying to get all the attention, he sends the assistant coach. Paul Maurice will not do that.
Oh, no.
Be great if he did. I would laugh my ass off if the next press conference he doesn't show.
It would be funny, but no, he's not gonna do that. No. Yeah, it just it should have been a conversation before the game or even maybe before the series started, like,
Yeah, like
not the end.
where's game 1 at? I honestly don't know.
It's in
Is it in Florida?
I had
No,
it
it's in Edmonton.
yeah, I was gonna say it's in Edmonton, yeah.
So, the team presumably is already there.
Yeah,
If not, they'll definitely be there tomorrow. Like, you can find 20 minutes to meet with Chris Knobloch and just be like, "Hey,
yeah,
at the end of this, can we do this?"
yeah. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
They all have each other's numbers, like, it's not hard to reach out.
Yeah, and if they
It's just
don't, they know someone who does.
yeah, like, that world is very connected, like, there's no way you can't reach out to him beforehand.
Yeah. Oh, it's a little bit ridiculous.
Mhm. It is. Oddly enough, that is not the only coach drama that happened with end of a series. I'm gonna probably butcher his name again. Dober,
Pete
Duber,
DeBoer.
DeBoer. There we go.
DeBoer.
DeBoer. Um, and his comments towards Ottinger, like, I don't. If I was Ottinger, I probably wouldn't want to stay in Dallas.
And he might not.
Yeah,
It's so, do you have the quotes?
I don't have a quote pulled up in front of me,
Yeah.
but I could probably get it.
But basically, he threw Jake Onger under the bus
Yeah.
in game 5, against Edmonton. He pulled him, what, 2 goals on 2 shots
Yeah,
in the
after
first period, which,
first period.
makes sense. It's an elimination game. I get it, but your backup goalie's not great. Like,
No.
it's
Yeah, so he said, "I didn't blame it all on Jake, but the reality is if you go back to last year's playoffs, he lost 6 of the 7 games to Edmonton, and we give up 2 goals on 2 shots in an elimination game. That's pretty
yeah,
big sample size." Which he literally is then just
blaming it all on.
blaming it all on him, and that's just not like, how do you
So DeBoer has a history with goalies.
Mhm.
He's not fond of them, it seems. I don't
Which is
know.
fucking insane, you're a hockey coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, was it 2019 or 2020 playoffs? Um, when Fleury got pulled for in favor of Robin Leonard, and then the
Mhm.
picture came out of Fleury on the ice with the sword in his back. You remember?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you remember what the sword said on it?
No.
DeBoer,
Okay, it did. I
because he
couldn't
was the
remember.
coach who did that. He pulled
Yeah.
Fleury after half of a bad period, and then rode Robin Leonard the rest of the way, and again lost. Like, he
Okay.
doesn't treat his goalies well. It's his thing. He wins game 7s and is shitty to his goalies.
And your goalie is one of your most important players on the team. Like,
He is your most important
yeah,
player.
like, if you don't have a goalie, you are screwed.
Like, I think it's Jeff Merrick who says that the game should just be called goalie.
It
And you
I don't yeah, if he's not fired, I would be wanting a trade out of there because that is fucking ridiculous to put that on Ranger. Like, I understand that, like, he let 2 goals in 2 shots, but that sometimes just happens, and we've seen it a few times with if that happens, and then all of a sudden the goalie is just dialed, locked in, and doesn't let anything in at all again. Like
but it's
like
2 goals on 2 shots, like, in the first period.
yeah, it's not like he let in 5 goals.
Okay, so DeBoer has one next or this coming season is his last season.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be unreasonable,
Okay.
for Dallas to let him go.
Mhm.
And he's a high paid coach. He's getting 4.25. But yeah, it's just the wrong move. At the
And then
very least, if you're gonna pull him, because it wasn't early or that
yeah.
late into the first period. It's not like it was the last 10 minutes or 2 minutes of the game.
Mhm.
Um Casey DeSmith came in and they immediately scored again. Like what, 50 seconds later, 52 seconds later
Yeah, it wasn't that
after
long.
after the change. D- Pull him, give him the intermission, put him back in the second.
Yeah. But no, didn't come back out, and then threw him under the bus, which is just I how do you as a goalie go play for this guy if he's just gonna be an asshole and not give you any support or trust because you're not gonna want to perform for this guy. Why would
7
you?
minutes. The second goal came at 7:09 into the first period. There were still 53 minutes left in the game, and like, nope, that's it. You're done.
He would hate Riddick.
Or he would love him because like Riddick makes the saves.
He
Not
does,
all
but
of the saves, but he makes the
he
saves.
also lets in a lot of goals.
The problem is the Kings walked a fine line last season. I think they played Riddick a little too much.
Yes, they did.
This season, I don't think they played him enough, or at least as consistent. So he went from being overworked to underworked. Like you got to find that right balance, that happy medium, so that he
Or
stays
just
warm, stays ready.
new backup.
Completely change the subject. Let's go to Kings for a minute.
Okay.
I From everything that I've heard and read, was it Jacob Ingram? No, Eric Portillo. Eric Portillo's gonna be the backup next year.
Yes, I liked him. I was very happy with him. Yeah, I know he kinda, like,
He played one
wasn't
NHL game and he won.
yeah,
That's
yeah, that's all that matters. I'm happy with it. He's got 100% win rate right now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's he'll be good, and the Kings might cut Darcy Kemper back a little bit to give Portillo a little bit more experience, but they have a solid vet, so that if they need to lean on him to play 65 games, they probably can.
I think Kemper's hitting his prime right now. Like, he's hitting it, like
I hope so because we have him for like 3 more years.
I know we
So
do, but I think he's hitting it because a lot of people were not expecting that type of goalie to come out of him. So I think we're getting prime Kemper. Portillo is a good one. I like Portillo. I like that's a good place for him to
yeah.
be as a backup.
So hopefully all those rumors are true and he comes up and keeps that backup slot.
Be good. Okay.
Anyway,
I'm
back
trying to
to
think.
the more current stuff.
Yeah.
We had DeBoer, we talked about that.
Yeah. I just
Let's
scrolled
see.
on to the betting odds again for Marner. I was like,
Yeah, we could talk about that. So where did I see was it the Athletic? Dun, dun, dun. You're seeing betting odds for LA being number one,
yes,
which I don't know I still don't know how I feel about it. If
Marner
Marner
coming
comes
to LA.
to Los Angeles, yeah. Oh my God,
I think
is it just my computer's on too long and just decides to
die.
just slow down? Is the
I
hamster
think
tired?
I think there's good and there's bad with Marner possibly coming to LA. I think that with the bad side of it for LA is that just we would have to give up some players to be able to make the salary work for him because we don't have the money that he's looking for really. Um
Well, we do right now. It's just a matter of
how much we resign other people for if we resign
yeah,
them. Yeah.
it's everyone else's contract.
Yeah.
They can do his fairly simply. Here we go. Ranking all 32 potential landing spots for Mitchell Marner. So this has the most likely fits. This is an article by James Myrtle. Uh, loves James Myrtle. Great writer. Knows what he's talking about. The most likely fits: Carolina Hurricanes, Los Angeles Kings, Utah Mammoth, Vegas Golden Knights.
Which all makes sense. I think
I don't know if they do.
all of them. I think Utah's kind of a stretch.
So Utah to me makes more sense than Carolina.
I
And
think he's gonna wanna go to such a team that's cup contender
so
sooner
Carolina
than later.
Carolina is a cup contender. I will still, debating on what they do, depending on what they do, if Rod Brendamore sticks around, which he probably will.
Mhm.
But Marner is high flying, fast paced guy. He's a big assist guy.
Yeah.
Carolina needs a goal scorer. That's not necessarily Marner's game.
Mhm.
And Carolina plays a very rigid structure, hockey. That's why Mikko Rantanen didn't fit.
Yeah.
Like they need the right player, and I don't think that Marner's that player. I think would be fucking hysterical if
Oh,
he
yeah.
did sign there.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the right fit for him. Vegas is Vegas. They're gonna do whatever they can. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter who they have to trade or buy out or jettison into the sun. If they
Put
can sign
on
Marner, they will.
long-term IR. Um,
Yeah. What's that, Mark Stone? Your back's acting up again? And just
yeah.
but, like, they're gonna have to sign Cole soon as well.
Yeah.
So it's and he has 100% earned himself a raise,
Yeah.
whereas Marner is this is his best season yet, but nothing in the playoffs. Like, this April kinda ruined his contract. So, of these 2, I think Los Angeles and Utah make the most sense. Los Angeles, more of a cup contender,
Yes.
less of a media fishbowl.
Yes.
He can come out here, he can live, he takes a kid to Disneyland, everything's great. Utah, he will be the face of the franchise.
He would, and that's I don't think he wants that.
I don't know if he doesn't. I don't think he minds that. I think he doesn't want trash thrown on his lawn if he buffs.
That's fair. That's fair. But if
Like,
he does come
there's a
to
big
LA, there is
difference.
trash technically on your lawn. If you're living at the beach, there's gonna be
There's
trash.
always trash, yeah.
Trash, yeah.
So it's yeah, he face of the franchise, and he will make all the money in Utah.
Oh, yeah, he would
Like,
be.
Ryan Smith will pay him whatever he wants.
Mm,
There will definitely be much less pressure other than just making the playoffs.
yeah.
If you can help get this team there, then it's a success. The Kings would be very much so like Toronto, and that's like, we need to get past the first round.
Yeah. They're getting better
Let's
every year, though.
let's see here. The maybes and the long shots. They have Anaheim, Boston, Chicago. Is this just every other team?
Sound
Basically
like
every other. So yeah,
the teams that are they're not as much cup contenders, and I think that's they're a
you know
little
what
too
this is kind of a good. Let me see what the other category is. It's kind of a good list. All right, so the other category is probably not going to happen, and then Groundhog Day, Toronto Maple Leafs. All right. Um,
Mhm.
so long shots and maybes. Tampa Bay
Okay.
should be interesting. Even when they have to change any of his clothes, it's all the same colors.
Yeah. He looks
San
good in blue.
Jose. San Jose would be really interesting.
Especially since they're constantly but right now, just a horrible team.
The horrible team. They have lots of great young talent. He would be
Mhm.
relied on to
A
be,
veteran.
yeah, he would be the veteran. He would have to be the
Mhm.
leader.
Mhm.
They might give him the C if he were to show up there.
Yeah.
But also, do you remember who his adopted parents in Toronto were?
I don't. I had to
Uh,
think about it for a second.
Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau.
That's right.
So
That is right. I froze.
there's a strong Sharks connection there.
There is.
Nashville, I don't see happening. Nashville's a dumpster fire. That might, put itself out and be phenomenal next season, but currently they're a dumpster fire. Florida, I think depending on how this season goes, they could be two-time Stanley Cup champions, so you're gonna get all the media again. And if you show up and the team doesn't three-peat, well, now it's your fault.
Yeah.
Detroit, media fishbowl, same division.
Yeah.
Columbus, I think, is too closed off and
Yeah.
too far away from being a contender. Colorado,
That's an interesting one.
he can go there, be the replacement for Rantanen, play with Landeskog and McKinnon.
Yeah.
That I don't want that to happen.
I feel like that's too stacked team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'd be too good. Blackhawks, they can afford him. I doubt he'd
Yeah.
go.
Don's not
Bruins,
happy. Don't.
yeah, the Bruins. I don't see him going to a divisional rival. And then Anaheim is again they can afford it, but it's why
Yeah.
they'll be great in like 3 or 4 years, but he
Yeah.
probably wants to go somewhere now.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying like he's gonna want to probably pick somebody who's closer to being a contender sooner than later. Um, yeah. Kings, like I would
Fuck, are the Kings going to get Marner?
Marquise Warner. But okay, Fiala and Byfield. That's the line he needs to go on is with Fiala and Byfield. I think that's a good line. Fiala and Byfield have the speed for him.
No, it would be a really good line. The the unpredictability, like I mean, was it game 7 against the or no, game yeah, it's game 7 against the Panthers where Marner's just like, here we go, no look behind the back pass to nobody.
But Byfield or Fiala would be there.
And yeah, but Fiala, like there's a good chance.
Yeah.
The problem is there's just as good a chance that Fiala would try making the same pass to nobody there,
Yeah.
expecting Marner to be there. Um, I love it. I want it. I just don't like the price tag.
That's the issue is the price, yeah.
Eh,
If Holland can
7,000,000.
pull it off, because the combine started this week.
Combine started this week, so he can get together with Brad Treliving, and he can be like, "Brad, what does Mitch want?"
Yeah,
Because even if there's not a trade to be had, because technically they could still do a sign and trade
yeah.
to get the 8 years, but let me pull up Mitch's contract. I think it's 10.5 is what he's making now. I really don't want to try to talk myself into this. My hopes up, and then when he doesn't
Yeah,
show up, I'll get disappointed. It's like,
we're
"Fuck
not getting Marner, we're
Utah."
not. He's going he's going somewhere else. We're not getting Marner. The Kings are not that lucky.
He's not that lucky. I mean, they got Fiala. He was the belle of the ball.
He was for a while, yeah.
The season they grabbed him, it was him.
I know. And then everybody was like then he came to LA and people were like, "God, why the fuck do we have Fiala?" He had a good season this season, though. Didn't enjoy Fiala this season.
Mitch Marner, UFA. It was UFA, but what was he making? 10.9. So
Okay.
basically 11.
Yeah. He's gonna want
So if
more.
they can get him for, 12,
Mhm.
then, do it.
Yeah.
Over that, I start to get a lot more skeptical.
Yeah.
Because then that also only leaves the Kings with 9 million in cap space to do everything else that they need.
That's what I'm saying. We would have to probably give up somebody.
Well, yeah, that's they're sending Trevor Moore to
Yeah.
KHL for that one.
Everybody keeps saying it's gonna be more,
He's
which
the only one that makes sense.
it is, and it's so sad because
Yeah.
I bet you as we're talking about him, he's probably like 2 streets away from you.
He's visiting his dad, getting ready to sit down
Yeah.
and watch the playoffs this weekend.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because his dad does live, I think, in the neighborhood where the kid's gonna go to school next year.
Yeah. So I'm like, I know his dad is close by.
Yeah, because they're not gonna get rid of anyone else. Like, I'm looking at the roster, I'm looking at the cap hits. The only one that makes sense to trade away is Trevor Moore.
Yep.
The only thing that doesn't make sense is, he didn't have the best year last year,
No, he didn't.
which is, I mean, why you would trade him away, but
Mhm.
why you shouldn't because his value is at a low.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're just trying to get cap space
Yeah.
because that would put the Kings at basically 26 million.
Be able to do more with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even then, if you have to sign Marner for 14, you still have 12 million to spend
Mhm.
on Gavrikov and
Kuzmenko.
Kuzmenko.
Yeah.
No, like you should be able to sign those three for 12.
Yeah.
Actually, as I say that, probably not. Like
No.
Gavrikov's going to get at least 8.
Yeah. I don't know how the Kings could be able to pull off Marner. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's happening.
Or maybe they're waiting on Gavrikov. Maybe
Maybe.
if he chooses not to resign, then the Kings just go, all right, well, if we're not going to be defensive, give us Mitch Marner.
Uh, possibility.
In which case, I'll be upset that Gavrikov's gone.
Yeah.
But
I just don't think he could go.
I'll take that, exchange.
I don't think Gavrikov is going anywhere, but I could be wrong. I could be very wrong.
Yeah, I really hope he doesn't. If Jordan Spence would be the other one who can go, but again, for 1.5 million, like
It's not much money.
it doesn't do much.
I thought of something that we didn't mention to talk about.
Oh, what's that?
Faceoff inside the NHL season 2.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. With 2 Kings players,
Yeah.
which is a
I
little bit of a shock.
right?
If I can
This
pull up the
this one is exciting. Like the fact that they got Crosby to agree to doing it and Kopitar. Oh my gosh, it makes me so happy. But yeah, I thought it was really funny that it got announced literally the day after we were recorded last week. And I was just like, I was just talking about how like, have they announced it yet?
so looking at the roster, like I love that it's Crosby and Fleury are
Hmm.
both on it. This should make for at least a fun episode.
Yeah.
Which I think they're doing fewer episodes this time. I think it's only 6.
Okay.
So it'll be a little more condensed. Um, but having Crosby and Fleury together will be great. Crosby has been in the league for 20 years. No one knows anything about him.
No.
Like
That man is
he's
so private.
yeah. So this will be cool, and I
Yeah.
hope it's more than just the canned Sidney Crosby. Like here he is, just sitting, talking to the camera, and like give us some real stuff with him. Give give us something we haven't seen with him yet.
We don't need to know that he bird watches. We already know that.
Yeah, don't need interested as I am in, like, all the old equipment from his childhood that he still uses, like, that's a thing that people know, like, show
Yeah,
me something else.
I wanna know the real Sidney Crosby.
That being said, give me all of Fleury's practical jokes.
Yes.
Like, I wanna see him dressed as the ice crew for that Minnesota game.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Give me all the give me all of Fleury at his Flurriest,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with that.
I I'm I
Um,
I'm just as shocked that they got Kopitar as they got as well as Crosby. I just that one shocks me.
Kopitar Kopitar is the shocking, but it seems like he's at the end of his career now.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
going into his last season. Um, I'm obviously a Kings fan. I'm very interested in Kopitar and the
Mm.
story that they do with him.
Yeah.
What I'm upset about is that it's going to be here we go. It's going to be fourth year in a row against the Oilers, and here's what we need to do to beat them, and we know how
Yeah.
that episode ends.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're going to do.
I know, and that
It's
part
just going to be the
sucks.
playoffs. It's going to be year 4 and no redemption.
That part
Byfield to be
sucks.
fun.
Byfield will be
Byfield being a
fun.
part of it, seeing the
He's such a character.
he's such and he's 22, like seeing
Yeah.
a kid, with millions in the bank and how he acts will be fun.
Yeah.
I know that they're doing a lot of Four Nations face-off stuff with it,
Mhm.
so the good Chucks will be fun with that and seeing them play together.
Yeah. Mikko Rantanen is on that
Mikko
list.
Rantanen is in it. He played on 3 teams this season, so I hope I don't know when they started following him, if it was from the start of the season through the end, or if they just, if they meet up at a certain point.
Yeah.
Give me
The
all of
drama.
that from his perspective.
All the drama from the
Yeah.
straight?
All
Yes.
of it.
All of it. I
Even if
want
it's
that
just
drama.
give me January through March. Just
Yeah.
give me that.
Yeah. That drama looks,
It looks
that's
so
what's
good.
gonna that's what's also gonna bring new fans to the NHL, that kind of drama. So, yes, give it to us. Um, and then we got Nylander.
Nylander would be fun. Nylander was there last year though, so
Yeah.
that's him and Kachuk. They're the known commodities. We know
They're the
that'll
2
be
returning, yeah.
yeah. Thomas Harley. I don't know a lot about him, but he was the reserve guy from the Four Nations who came up and played, and
Yeah.
good for him. White Johnson, another young up and
Mhm.
comer.
Yeah. Seth
Uh,
Jarvis.
Seth Jarvis is great.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Good player. What I'm not looking forward to, and what I might most be looking forward to, is the Sean
Sean
Monahan, Zach
Monahan.
Werenski
It's
episodes.
it's gonna make us cry.
Yeah, it's going to be the
It
Johnny Gaudreau episode.
it is.
Yeah,
It's gonna make us cry. It's gonna hurt.
yeah. It's like I
Um,
can't wait to watch it, and also like I don't want to see it. I don't
yeah.
feel like crying.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be like the one episode you save for like, "Okay, am I in a good space to cry?" Because you're gonna cry.
Wife, take the kid to the park. I need to sit here by myself. No,
'Cause it's gonna be a rough one. Yeah, when I saw him on the list, I was just like, "Fuck, they're gonna."
it sucks because you just look at him like, well, I know why he's there.
Yeah, and
Like it's
I hope
it sucks. Yeah.
I hope that doesn't follow him for the rest of his career and that
No,
feeling,
no, it
but
it
but
it
but
will
it
so long as
be
he's in Columbus, but
yeah, it's gonna be rough.
and at this
Oh,
point, I don't see him leaving Columbus.
oh, no, I think he's gonna stick it through just for Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That one
it's gonna be fun. And
those are
then
gonna be that like, the Kings episode and that episode, I think are gonna be our roughest episodes.
what'll be interesting is the Brendan Shanahan episode, however
Yeah.
they incorporate him. Um, like, he got fired last week. So,
Mhm.
he was the president of the Maple Leafs. They were using the Shana plan for the past 12 years, and it didn't work. And he finally, you know, depending on who you talk to, finally was let go, relieved of his duties, or his contract was not renewed, depending on
Yeah.
how you wanna look at it, but yeah, I'm watching that, like, how far do they go with it? Like, do they just film it and then at the end it's the black screen? It's like Brendan Shanahan was his contract was not renewed for the 25-26 season? Or, is there, like, the camera outside the door and he goes into the boss's office with the mic still on? Probably not, but
Yeah. But it
it
is
would be fun.
interesting to see somebody who's behind the scenes doing things beyond on this, which I mean, the show is called NHL Face Off Inside the NHL. So like it's kind of nice to see more. than just the players.
Yeah, the front office aspect of it is fun.
Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to season 2. Like, you're right, the Kings ones are probably gonna be the whole, "Here we go again"
Yeah,
situation, but
we know what that story like, you
but
can look at the players there, and you're like, "I know what the story's gonna be,"
yeah,
for
but
most of them.
most of them, yeah, it's gonna be the brotherly love with Kachucks, it's gonna be Goodrow with Monahan, it's Mikko Rantanen's probably gonna be the trade story, honestly.
Jarvis is gonna be his friends from Four Nation who drove across the
Yeah,
countries to get
to
there.
get that, yeah,
Same with Thomas Harley. Wyatt
yeah,
Johnson is just he's the token young guy. Quentin
he
Byfield's the token young guy
yeah.
in LA.
Yeah, and then Sidney Crosby and Fleury are just, like, the 2 veteran names that you're like, "Fuck yeah, we're watching for them."
Oh, even more so. So Crosby's replacing McDavid in this
Oh, yeah,
as the superstar, and
yeah,
Fleury's retiring. So
yeah,
it's his. Everyone has like you can look at this and be like, I know exactly what the story's going to be,
yeah,
which
but
kind
I'm
of
looking
stings. Yeah.
but, I'm also just, like, for personally for me, I'm looking forward so much to Kopitar and Byfield being in it, just because the fact that it's my players. That's my, like, I love the Kings, and so getting to see them be part of something this big is awesome.
And we're also looking at it from hockey fan perspective.
Yeah,
There are the people who might have seen the first season, like, cool, season two will be awesome.
yeah,
And they look at this poster and be like, I've heard of, that guy, that guy, and that guy. I don't know who any of these other people
yeah.
are.
And like a lot of these newer fans aren't really necessarily picking their favorite teams based off of where they live. They're picking off of the players and maybe the cute little things that these teams do together outside of like,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
and so like this can give a perspective to being like, oh, I really like the story with Seth Jarvis, so I'm gonna root for that team now. Like there is so many like little things that this could branch out for new people to the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which is
So
awesome.
it's going to do great. I'm a big fan of it. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a date yet, does it? Other than just
Mm,
no fall of 2025.
yeah, nothing else yet, but I'm looking forward to it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a good one. Um, I'll I'll enjoy it.
I just might
I'll
have to be sick the weekend it comes out. Just need to take care of the
That
kid.
happened
Um,
last year.
it actually did happen.
Yeah, you got sick the weekend it
Yeah.
came out, and you watched it all. Just your
COVID. So it wasn't like super lucky, but
no, this is gonna become a yearly tradition. You just
yeah,
happen to be sick.
knock on wood a little bit for that one. But again,
Oh,
third
COVID's
time will
rough.
not be the charm.
No, that does not sound fun. Okay, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think that now we've covered all the NHL stuff.
We did so. PWHL, which might have the biggest news of the week. The Stanley Cup starts in 2 days, and PWHL might have the biggest news of the week. I'll let you say it.
I thought it was a prank.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. I saw it
I
on
I
Reddit.
I
I assumed someone was fucking with me.
I
For everyone who hasn't seen, the Seattle PWHL team has hired John Tortorella as the head coach.
I thought it wasn't real.
What in the actual fuck?
Like, it's almost
I
like he's like he gave up on the NHL and was like, "You know what sounds fun? Coaching women's hockey."
He's like, "You know where I can really be a piece of shit? Seattle."
Who thought this was a good idea?
Now here's the thing. It's admittedly, he is a good coach.
He is.
He's won a Stanley Cup. He's taken bad teams and made them great.
Yeah,
He's done so many great things. I
yeah.
feel like it's
He's a good
impossible.
guy. Like,
He's a great guy.
yeah,
I want to have a beer with him. I want to talk about horses and dogs and be like, how can you foster all these dogs and like not just lose your shit? And like I want to hang out with the man. Fuck, I don't want him coaching any of my teams.
no.
But like, how do you take his coaching style? And I don't think it's a way of saying this without sounding misogynistic, at least a little bit. But like, how do you take his coaching style and apply it to women?
No, and I get what you're saying because when I saw the announcement and realized it was real and not a fake account posting it, because I my thought process was that there's all these young guys who already struggle with his coaching style. They don't like the old ways of coaching and playing hockey anymore. That's not necessarily what they do. So going into a women's league where that old style of hockey doesn't fit?
So, yes, but also that line of thinking, I had the same thing, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
break myself of it.
Yeah.
A lot of these women have been playing the game for, like, 20 years.
Oh,
So
yeah,
they've probably had this coach. They've probably had this
oh,
coach
yeah.
for years and years when they won, when they were winning Olympic medals. Most of the women in this league aren't, quote unquote young.
Yeah.
So it's we are probably that first thought of he's too old. He can't do this for them. Like
Mhm.
it's that might be what they want
It's a
and what they're used
possibility,
to.
and they probably did have that type of coach because of probably a lot of these women didn't have just a women's team, like a girls' team growing up. They probably had to play pee wee hockey with a bunch of boys, and, like, so they probably have experienced those coaches, but
And they went to the
it's
Olympics. Like
yeah.
most of them are Olympians.
Oh, yeah.
And like
So
we've watched those games. Like it's not really fucking hard.
they do, and
So
the women's hockey is rough. It's
yeah,
they beat the shit out of each other
yeah,
too. It's
it's awesome.
it's
They beat the
so
shit out of each other and it's like twice the speed.
yeah, it's women's hockey is fun. It's incredible. I just really wish we had a team here.
That's why I haven't picked a team yet. I'm
Yeah,
waiting.
me too. But and you're right. It just I think of with him, it just the way things have been in the NHL with him as a coach. I just was like, I don't know. I don't know how I would feel. But like also, this is gonna be me being like women are tougher. Like they
Not
probably
wrong.
can
Yeah.
handle it better than these young guys in the NHL too at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they could be perfectly
It's
fine being yelled at by him because they've already built
it's not
up.
worse than things they've heard at the bar the night
Yeah,
before. So
yeah,
it's yeah.
yeah,
It's still very difficult to believe,
yeah,
but I'm here for it. I wanna see how it works. I haven't seen as much, I don't wanna say showboating, but, like, the trick plays, the Instagram hockey that John Tortorella hates,
yeah.
I haven't really seen in the PWHL.
They don't really go for that as much.
So it might work.
It could, yeah.
So who knows? That Seattle's team might dethrone Minnesota next year.
Which would be good because it would I think people would get really sick of Minnesota really fast if they keep winning.
But it's yeah, I saw that. I still have a hard time. Like I can see the image clear in my head. I can
Yeah,
see the
yeah,
announcement. I'm like, this is
yeah.
absolutely fake.
It I thought I really did think it was fake when I first saw it because I'm like, just I thought somebody was making a joke, like being like, "Ha ha ha, this is where he's ending up," kind of thing. But no,
No, he did it.
no, he did it. He jumped to the PWHL, which honestly, like that's cool of him to do too.
Well, it's he doesn't need the money, so
No.
he can retire and live on his horse farm for till the end of his days and be happily ever after. He's
Mhm.
doing this because he loves the game. He loves
Yeah.
coaching. So it's like many things in life. I try to now just wait and see how it goes, and I will pass full judgment then. If Seattle finishes last and it's just a bunch of players going like, get rid of this fucking guy, then we could talk. But right now, it's potential. He might
Yeah.
do really well.
He could. I think he's gonna have a little bit of a learning curve though. Like I know the hockey's hockey, but there's different rules in the PWHL. So he
Torts has
might
a
need.
mouth on him, so like I'm just there's some shit that he just can't say anymore,
Yep.
or maybe he can. We're
Yep.
assuming.
Yeah. Whether you know what? Yeah, we could be assuming. I don't know. I think it will depend on which women end up on that team because that team is
Yeah,
not in existence
it
yet.
doesn't
Like,
exist yet. Yeah,
yeah,
but like
yeah. So,
he might walk in and just like, here's the whiteboard. Write down whatever things I can't say, and he leaves the room, comes back 10 minutes later, and it's blank. And they're
honestly,
just like, no, go for it.
huge respect if he does that.
It would be really cool.
That would be, like, that would be great because, like, the fact that he gives them the opportunity to make those boundaries would be that would be awesome.
Well, you have to assume that and someone of his age and his ilk and where he's coming from,
Mhm.
there are certain terms that would not be
That are
acceptable as far as
and
we know,
outdated.
would not be acceptable. Not even outdated.
Some of them could
Um,
be. I
some
mean,
of them could be. I'm going with like very basic generic things
Okay, okay,
that like me and my friends call each other,
okay,
but I wanted to call it I wanted to call you these things.
okay.
So it's there's simple things that like he might have called these players. Quit acting like this, quit being such a that.
I know exactly which word you're trying to
But
pronounce.
there's 2 or 3, but,
Yeah,
n the
I know, yeah, I could say,
mainly a B and a P, like,
yeah.
those
Maybe
2.
maybe the C?
Maybe the C. Less likely the C,
Yeah.
possibly the C, no. Um, but the B and the P especially,
Mhm,
like,
mhm,
it's
mhm.
very likely that that was thrown around the men's NHL locker room constantly,
Yeah.
and, like, can that be used in this case? Don't know, but he should definitely ask
Oh, yeah.
because his players might not care.
Yeah.
And he might
Good
find
listen.
that no, they've been called those things their entire lives because they've grown up in hockey.
Just can't say it's playing girls.
You know what? You can't until the girls on your team start saying it to the other girls on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
It's,
be
I don't know, there's so many fine lines that you have to walk with this job that having John Tortorella do it. Oh my god.
that's why I think it's funny, and, like, I thought it was a prank because he
With A, he would never sign up for this, but I don't want, face off inside the NHL. I want face off inside John Tortorella of the PWHL.
I would take a PWHL
Give
series
no,
also,
I
in
want
general.
6 episodes focused on him coaching
Just,
this team.
like,
That's
it's
it.
just his first season. His first
Yeah,
season, yeah.
give me everything. I want his vacations where he's just lounging at the horse farm, and I want, practice the day after a bad game, where they get shut out like 7-0. Like, I give me both. I
Mm.
need to see this. My head just jumped to a league of their own. He's Tom Hanks.
He
Yeah, you crying? No
is
crying in
so
hockey. There's no crying in it's oh my this is one of those times that, like, I wish that I used, AI for stuff. Just,
Oh my god.
"Dear ChatGPT, please recreate A League of Their Own as a hockey movie with John Tortorella in the role of Tom Hanks."
Oh my gosh. It's
Oh, this
weird.
could be ridiculous.
It's gonna be a weird season. I think I've already liked the PWHL, but I feel like I'm more invested this
Oh,
next
yeah, no.
season.
If nothing else, this made me go from, like, loosely checking scores and be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, this team's doing great, that team's
yeah,
doing great too."
yeah,
I am going to follow the Seattle team now.
yeah.
Like, I haven't picked a team. I'm going to follow them. I'm gonna set up Google alerts. Like, I want to know everything, even if I don't want to. If I can't watch the game, I want to watch the press conference afterward. It's gonna be so awesome.
It's oh my gosh. I feel bad for the Vancouver team because they haven't even like who do you get now as a
No,
coach that's gonna upstage this?
I mean there were worse coaches that they can get. Never mind. I get it's Daryl Sutter.
Oh,
That's the
aw.
obvious answer. They bring in Daryl.
I think Daryl Sutter would be a good coach.
Do you not remember his tenure in Calgary?
Okay,
Sorry,
but
his second tenure in Calgary.
okay, but like I like
Do you
Sutter.
like Daryl Sutter or do you like Chris Sutter? Let's be
No, okay,
honest here.
I love Chris Sutter. Like, I do love Chris Sutter.
Daryl Sutter got to the point where the team was locking him out of the room. Like it's
Yeah, I know. You're right. It's Chris Sutter. I love Chris Sutter.
everyone loves Chris Sutter, and that's okay. I love Chris Sutter.
He's awesome.
I love Daryl when the Kings won 2 cups.
Yeah,
And then shortly after that, I stopped loving Daryl.
yeah, okay, yeah.
He's older, angrier Tortorella with just more composure.
Yeah. Uh, you're not wrong.
What was it? Were they the Peaches? Was that it? In A League of Their Own?
It was peaches or apricots, I can't remember.
Okay, if that's the case, it was definitely Peaches.
Okay.
Team name, and there was the Bells.
Oh, yeah,
Rockford Peaches. Yeah.
peaches, yeah.
God, is there any way to make them the Seattle Peaches? Like, can we stretch that? I don't think so, but it's
I don't think so. I wish they could be the Sirens. I'm upset that they can't be the Sirens.
I'm just saying salmon's still on the table, and those colors can be pretty close sometimes.
I don't miss It's so mean.
Well, the Kraken, like Sockeye was one of the main contenders, so
I know.
they could still be the Seattle Sockeye. I really want to watch this movie now. It's so
It's a
good.
it's a good movie. It's a Tom Hanks movie. It's good.
Again, everyone in it is like Gina Davis, Madonna's
Oh,
fucking awesome in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good movie. Crap, now I wanna watch it.
Which streaming
Oh gosh, but you're right, that would be a great adaptation. I hope it works out, though, for Seattle, and I hope it'd be cool to see if he
I
does lead Seattle to, the Walter
I
Cup.
want them to win so badly, and then I want to watch the movie. And if we get Tom Hanks to play him too, then yeah, Tom Hanks as John Tortorella,
And Tom Hanks is older now, so it does work.
it fits.
It does.
He can do it.
And Tom Hanks knows hockey.
It's on Amazon. I don't know if it's free on Prime, but it's at
Mm.
least on Amazon.
Tom Hanks is a hockey fan.
He's a hockey guy. So if you're like, hey, Tom, can I call you Tom? Look, I've got an idea for you.
I need to find him at a Kings game the next time he goes to a Kings game. His son goes to them more often.
But this, you know what? Colin could play it at this point
Colin,
because
yeah.
he looks old. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Colin, I got an idea for you.
How would you feel playing Seattle has to win.
If you want to see SNL version, you get Will Ferrell.
I'm like, who can Will Ferrell do the John Lovitz role, who like goes around
Oh,
like recruiting all the women, or is Will Ferrell the candy mogul who owns the team?
he could do both, honestly.
No, he's the chocolate guy. He's the billionaire who's like, you know what? I'm going to start a women's baseball league. Gaga plays the Madonna part.
Gaga would be a good one, yeah.
We can make this happen.
We could.
Be the summertime episode is casting a hockey league of their own.
You know what? I think it would work. It'd be a good movie.
Pulled up the IMDb page. The trailer's playing in front of me. I'm just, this is so good.
They keep remaking everything. Why not this?
Really should though. If Seattle wins, they can do it. It's they have the story, they have the characters. Who do we know? Someone give me Hollywood.
We want to just drive down the 101,
101 sucks. It's,
go find somebody off of there.
I'll take a Zoom meeting. Just I need somebody.
Okay.
I need the vice chief of Hollywood.
Who exactly is that?
I think it's Bill Hader. Yeah.
I was gonna say, is it Disney at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, we're casting a hockey
It's
movie.
John Favreau. Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
He might be.
He really could be. We don't know.
I know a guy who knows a guy who knows John Favreau. I could make this work.
I know somebody who knows Seth MacFarlane. We could team up.
Oh, perfect. Actually, you know what? Seth MacFarlane presents. Yeah.
It's Fuzzy Door Productions.
I want to go with a different name if it's based on a women's team, but
No, that's literally what his company's called.
I know I'm making a
I know.
poor
I
kid's
know.
joke. Yeah.
I know.
Speaking of Seth MacFarlane, the Naked Gun remake looks so fucking good. Complete sidetrack, but
Completely off of hockey. now.
completely off of hockey. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it. It looks
I
like
have.
so much fun.
I have seen it. It does
I
look
was
fun.
so scared when I saw that there was a remake coming. Then I saw who was doing it and who was in it. I'm like, all right, sold.
Should be a good one.
Like I might go to the theater to see that.
We don't go for the theaters for anything.
Exactly. I love the Naked Gun movies so much. Part of my childhood. My dad worked on them.
Oh,
So like having them come back, I'm like, yes,
a
please.
little nostalgia feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Okay, we've lost it now. We're ending this. Bye, everybody.